Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have an Oris watch on the channel. Now this one is the Aquis date relief model and I think it's a real funky looking watch. I really quite like the look of this. It just looks so kind of playful, summer kind of watch, and that's all because of this nice big bright red band on it. Now before I get too far into review, I've got to say a big thank you to the team Gaye for allowing me to review this watch. They've got a really good selection of watches that you can walk into the shop and try a load on. None of this, oh no, it's online, you have to give us a email us first and we'll get the watch in. You can go into the shop and try these watches on, and I think that's part of the fun of watch collecting, isn't it? It's actually being able to go on and try the watches on and see what you think. So anyway, what do we have here? Now, this is just, I say, it's predominantly because of this red band, but it just looks so funky, I think. You can get it on a bracelet, but I really like the look of this red band. Now, it's not without its flaws, but we'll get into that later. Now, first things first, let's get into the sizes of this watch. It's a 43.5 millimeter watch, so it's quite a chunky watch. I believe it's 12.9 thick, so that's not too bad, and a 50mm lug to lug on this, but you got to remember it comes straight down off those lugs, so it actually wears quite well. So let's have a look at that dial. The dial looks really quite nice. I think it's just the play with colours with that red second hand, how well it kind of all ties into the the silicone strap on this watch. We have a nice sunburst effect going on that dial, and then we have all the applied markers going around there, which are all full of lume. So it has a quite respectable lume on this watch. I'll drop a shot in for you to see. Now the hands, we do have a nice bit of polishing on there. When you catch the light, you can see how much they reflect back, and we do have the lollipop style second hand, so you got lume on there as well, and we have the date down at the 6 o'clock position, so not to mess up that kind of symmetry, the symmetry of the dial. Now I like the fact just the Oris in a bold writing at the top and the smaller text down there, Swiss made, and it is a 300-meter dive watch, so we do have proper credentials on this watch. So as we come out from there, we have a nicely, very subtly domed crystal which flares into this bezel. Now the bezel, it does remind me very much of a Rolex style bezel here with raised up markers. We do have a lume pip at the top. We do have nice knurling, machined coin edge style to allow you to purchase the grip, the bezel. Now if I turn it, very, very positive. How much play is there? A tiny bit, but not a super amount, but it is actually quite nice. So as we come around there, it is a 120 click. Let's line that up, because if it don't, it will bug me all the way through. So there we go, cool. So we do have the kind of matte finish on the insert, and then all the polishing around the edge of the bezel. Now as we come around, we have this kind of, you see how the case kind of flares out towards the bottom. It is one of their signature moves already, and you can see how it just all satinized. Does look good. We still have stickers on this because it is the shop's watch. We have the screwed in crown there with the Oris title in there, and we do have their proprietary screws which go on there. As for the crown, let's see, plenty of thread, and you could hear the watch actually pop. Now manual winding, nice and smooth, and obviously it's a hacking movement. Let's put that in, see how easy it is. Really easy actually, that's nice. So as we come round to the back here, we have the signature red rotor of Oris there on the Sellita SW200 movement. They've been using this movement for years now. One of my first kind of let's say first automatic watches was an Oris watch, and it had the same looking rotor on there, and I think it just looks great. It really does look cool. I like when you can see the movement. Being a Sellita SW200, that'll be a 38-hour power reserve on there. It's basically a clone of a ETA 2824, and yeah, it's pretty bomb proof. It's, you know, I wouldn't overwind them too much, but they are really good. So anyway, look at this strap. I think it looks superb. You can get the bracelet for these watches, but I personally, I like this leather strap. Now, there is a problem here, because as you can see, the way it fits in there, it fits in on a tiny way. So it means you can't just get a normal watch strap to put in here. So that is one downside of this, but I do think it does look great. Now, gore, it's a chunky old clasp, isn't it? But it does work well. So the system, what we have here, we have the normal holes. If I press these buttons here, then that releases it. We can size it by just placing it in the holes. We have one on this side, one on that side. So you can move it around, no problem. And closing, nice. You're not going to accidentally press them. And then you'll see we have these buttons back here. And now if I press, let's see, I think if I open that and then I press this, both sides, he says you can move it. So you do have on the fly adjustment like that. Let's press it again and locked in. It's a nice system, but it's not without its faults. For one, the sheer thickness. I would say the thickness of that is thicker than the watch itself. Let's have a look. So what do I say the watch was? 12.9 was it? Or no, 12.2. So all this, oh no, it's only about 10. So you get the idea though, it is quite thick, but it works really nicely. So anyway, let's put this on my wrist and you got an idea how it looks. But zoom out there. Quick wrist check. I'm wearing a Seiko tuner. Bob, what's he got? He's got his Longines Zulu timer on there. So we'll take this off and see. Let's put this on. And there you go. I have a 7¼ inch wrist. So that's how it looks on my wrist. I think, yeah, I really like the play of colours on this. I think it's a fun watch. On this, you know, strap and the dial with the red second hand, I think it's got a real playfulness about it. It looks great. So let's release that. Yeah, the double button here, I don't think you're going to accidentally have any problems with that releasing. So I believe the retail of this watch is around about a £1,500 mark. That's the RRP. So at that price point, I think this is a nice looking watch. There are other watches I've got which are a similar price to this. Maybe the Zin 104. That's a similar price, but that's on a bracelet. But this is definitely a more bolder kind of piece. It really sticks out, you know, it stands out a lot more than that. So it's kind of just a fun, cool watch. Let me know in the comments below, is it a watch you'd consider buying or not? And I'll try and get back to you. Okay, all the best, guys. I'll see you at the next review. You take care. Bye.